Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. Actually, I'm Jonathan. We've got a couple boxes here today, and if you've noticed the logo on the front, there's usually good things inside of that. So what I have for you guys today is actually the biggest unboxing we've ever done on this channel. We have the Sideshow Rancor Deluxe. Collectors, this might come as a surprise to you because it kind of came as a surprise to me. I really liked this item, but just didn't pull the trigger on it, and then it was sold out by Sideshow. But then I was on the wait list and they served me up an opportunity and I jumped on it. What I have here is edition 391 of 600. So there are only 600 of these out there, maybe some artist proofs and things like that as well. These boxes, two different boxes. I assume one is the base, maybe one of the parts, and then the other parts are another one. They're actually way less than what I thought they would. So really not too hard to move around. I'm blown away by what the scale of this thing is supposed to be when I see it in photos and videos. I have the Gentle Giant Rancor with the Keeper, which I think is a really cool piece. And at the end here, I'll bring them up side by side so you guys can see what the scale difference is between the two of them. That Rancor that I already have has been one of my favorite pieces in my collection for a very long time. But the Rancor is definitely my favorite monster out of the original trilogy and probably all of Star Wars. I can just remember Return of the Jedi being my favorite film as a kid, and this monster, the Rancor, coming out of the darkness, the shine on the eyes, you know, the way the puppetry was done, it was just so scary and so cool. And to see it in the scale that we're going to see together is very exciting. So let me go ahead and start opening it. So it's going to be a little bit off to the side of the camera here. Instead of opening it on top of the table, I'm going to do it off to the side here just so that we have some place to put things as we unbox it. So you may have noticed that I did not do a collectibles haul video for last month. And even the one before that was a little light, and that was because I sort of just decided like this is going to be my big purchase for the year. Otherwise I've been 3D printing helmets and trying to finish those off and things of that nature. But this one is a larger ticket item, and I actually kind of worked a freelance job adding some e-commerce to a website I had built previously for a client, and that was sort of my little side project, and I took a little bit of that income and bought myself this, which I think is okay. I think it's okay to reward yourself a little bit. So we've got a box instead of a box here right now. So an art a shipper box, and then I don't know if we're actually going to have an art box with this one like we normally would. Looks like we've got something in here. All right, so no real art box, brown inside of a brown box, but we do have this like mini poster here. So this poster shows the Rancor on it in black, like a black background, and then there are instructions on the back of how to assemble him. So let me go ahead and get this out real quick because I know that glare from the light is probably killing the visual. Just want to be careful. Okay. Hopefully that's decently visible. And then the back here, we've got a couple washers and nuts and things of that nature. I don't think I've ever had a statue where I actually had to put it together with nuts and bolts. Okay, so all right guys, so inside of here we have a bass. We'll be careful with it because unlike most songs, we do not want to see the bass drop. So the bottom has this very nice art style on the bottom. It has 391 of 600 on there. It kind of has this like old monster movie, or almost like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Rancor, Star Wars Rancor Deluxe statue. This thing is wider than my table, which I've done all my unboxings on and has never been an issue before. So some of the details that we have on here, we've got some rocks, a little bit of char and wear on them. We have some bones here. We have a skull and a skeleton and a jawbone of a Gamorrean. So the one we see in the movie was apparently not the first one to ever fall down in there, or perhaps be sacrificed to the Rancor for the pleasure and enjoyment of all up above. I'm gonna take this base off here and just put it to the side for just a moment. And we can open this up. Okay guys, it looks like we have some limbs in here. These appear to be the arms. We have the left arm here first. So let me go ahead and get the, let me get them both out and we'll unwrap them together. Let's take a look here at the arm. Guys, look at the size of this hand. I mean, that's what's crazy. This obviously is not life size. The life size Rancor would be huge, but this hand is bigger than my hand. So on a human scale, this thing is monstrous. Wow. The detail on this skin is so lifelike. It's like almost human, or what you would expect a a really good prop house to give you as some sort of human or monster. I mean, the muscle definition in the bicep here and the forearm, you can see the tension in the tendons, the wrinkles in the skin. I'm very impressed. This is a good start. This arm is in a similar pose, but this one is the one that has the shackle on it. Actually, I do hear like a little bit of rattling inside, but I don't see any exterior holes or anything that would lead me to believe that something was punched through. So that may have just been some extra material on the inside, and that won't matter once we put it together. So again, I mean, it's crazy. This looks like it could be my arm almost. Like it's molded the same. It's really odd. You know, hold his hand, take him out on a date. Rancor. Oh my gosh. Oh, sweetie. Very cool, very cool. Loving the detail so far, very impressed. I did have my concerns with an item this big. Would the detail be there? You know, if you can get away with it when it's a smaller scale item, if it's not quite as detailed, but when you go big, you gotta make the detail there too. You gotta bring that forward. So far, so good. We're already in the box 2 here. Yes, there we go. Okay. Nothing left in the lid. So, got some goodies here. I think I'm IDing most of these things here. So this is going to be the back plate. Very nice, very cool. And each one of these pieces has been individualized. There's a crack in this one. There's a kind of a tear or a scar in that one. There's more over here that kind of have a crack or a scar into it. And it's also, it's not symmetrical. So if I hold it up here, maybe you guys can see it, it kind of weaves. So I don't know, maybe the Rancor has some scoliosis or something like that, but really they're just gotta have it more in a dynamic pose, you know, that, you know, the way he lumbers in, he wouldn't be, you know, attacking you like a robot. So I appreciate that there's sort of an organic feel to that aspect. So we're talking about some serious hardware on this piece, because this is what everything links into. So nothing on this foot, although they took the time to add texture and coloring to the bottom of the feet. But this side over here, that's a serious spike. And then we've got another nice big bolt here that we'll be attaching everything to. More of the same as far as the quality of the bumps and highlighting those bumps all throughout the body, looking very realistic. The toenails have nice little cracks in them. They just feel very real. Guys, I'm getting excited. I can't wait to put this together. Guys, this might be the most important part. It would look a little goofy without any of these parts, but this is the piece that you're gonna look at that you're gonna stare at, that you're gonna be mesmerized by, and yes, that you will fall in love with. Whoa. Whoa, my collector friends, look at this. Wow. He has never looked so good. He has a little earring over here on the side, and it's actually movable, so that's a cool piece. Man, scale is good. That is a gorgeously hideous face. Very nice. So, I like to be completely honest and upfront with you guys. If I had a little criticism right now, I would say his eyes are painted. I would have preferred them to be glass or something of that nature to give that extra look to it. My Gentle Giant one has a really cool slobber that hangs off of the front of it, which I think would have been a cool addition here too. Now the teeth on this look incredible. Also, as you kind of get to the back of the throat, it just sort of is brown. It would have been kind of cool to see something there that would have made me believe that there was a, you know, it gets darker, but it would have been kind of cool to see if there was like a little bit of a throat there. And then, and this could be completely, you know, how the original filming model was too. After seeing all this bumpy texture all over its big lumpy body, it really, really smooths out right here on the cheeks. I guess I would have expected to see the bumps continue in that area. But again, maybe this is more authentic to the actual filming model. You know, as the jaws move up and down, maybe it's not as bumpy in that area, but that just would have been my expectation. So, let's see, anything else? I try to be critical of these things because I know, you know, if you're out there and you're like, this is my Halo piece, and you're, you know, saving up for however long it takes you to save up, I want you to know my honest opinion on the pieces that I own and have done the same for. Let's return to our first piece, the base. Another critique I actually would have would probably be this base a little bit. It's very sandy. I would probably prefer to see a little more color throughout here. So I feel like this could have really used maybe more of a dark wash, and you know, maybe it really was kind of the Tatooine sands down in there in the Rancor pit. That would make some sense. But for some reason, I kind of imagined it being like a more red or more dark brown kind of pit down there. So that's just me, you know, thinking about it here. So first things first, legs with the big spike here. We're gonna take this nice and slow out there, collectors. Let it find its way. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna remove this nut. Sorry, boy, I know you just got here and I'm taking your nut off. The piece that we just got out. So we're gonna take him and we're gonna put him in place. Get nice and slow here. Okay. Put the washer in first. And then the nut. I'm just gonna go finger tight on this stuff. I'm not gonna use tools. If I feel like it's wiggling at some point, I might adjust it a little bit harder, but the materials that they're using here, you know, this isn't like metal or something like that. So finger tight I think will be good enough. Okay, so you guys are already losing me behind this thing, so I might have to angle it a little bit here. So you can still see me. Not that you care about me when something like this is in front of you. How could you? I wouldn't blame you one bit. And the washer slides off. And line it up. Now luckily the Rancor, of course, has a ton of wrinkles in his skin. So being able to hide the limb seams is really not a big deal. I would say this looks very natural. One more arm. What do you guys think? He's looking pretty good? I mean, just look at the size of him. I've always been a type of collector or guy or whatever that likes larger pieces. I'd rather have, you know, one of these guys than have, you know, 100 action figures or something like that. All right, so before I put the back cap on, let me spin him around here so you guys can see what I've been working with. So there's basically like an access hatch in the back of him. So this actually just slides right in here, and there are magnets in here. And the magnets hold it on and in place. I'm going to continue to critique here. I would say that this is not lining up quite as well as I would like. If I make it flush up here, I get a little bit of a gap down here where I can see some unpainted details. If I kind of adjust it down there a little bit more, then I kind of get a little bit of a pop here. I don't know if that is because I hand tightened it, but I'm not getting any wiggles out of the torso. So small critique. It's also a different color. Not dramatically, but this is darker. Perhaps it's supposed to be, but I would even say that this right here is a little bit darker than what this is as it goes down. So a little bit more noticeable as a hatch than I was expecting, and probably than I would hope. Okay, let's bring it back around for the final reveal here. And there you guys have it. This is the Sideshow Rancor Deluxe. It's not, from what I hear, it's not technically advertised as being 6 scale, although I've seen some people pose their Sideshow Luke or Hot Toys Luke or something like that in front of it, and it looks about right to me. It's a very, very cool size. So that is it for this guy. Let me go ahead and grab my Gentle Giant Rancor. We'll put them side by side, and we'll have a little Rancor party. Collectors, here we have them side by side with one another. You know, really a lot of differences between them. The Gentle Giant one has a ton of spikes here on the back, which are not on the Sideshow one. Some of the key ones are, but even those are kind of in different places and different interpretations. I think the faces are actually quite different. Maybe more of a scrunched up face here, a larger face here, I would say. This might even be kind of a little more accurate, honestly, because whenever I've looked at stuff from the movie, the actual maquette, or if you look at the Rico Robot one, which was done off of it, it's not the, you know, not the prettiest looking creature out there. This might be a little bit more of an idealized version of that. More sandy in color on the Sideshow one versus the brown of this. And that one's just really hard to say. You know, we see him in darkness, so we don't really know what color the Rancor is. I do like the addition of having the keeper here. And like I said, the drool on this one is very cool as well. So they both definitely have their strengths. If you're interested in adding a Rancor to your collection, I like this Gentle Giant one a lot. I would, you know, if you just want a Rancor, you don't have to go this big, this guy. I would say this one is going to be a fantastic piece in your collection as well. I'm probably going to keep them both. I know it's a little redundant, but they do different things for me. I think they're both solid and have their own strengths. So I just love scale, and I love life-size props. That's really kind of the main thing. I kind of got into statues and stuff like that secondary, but I love life-size props, and not that this Rancor is life-size, but there's just something about the scale that just speaks to me. I don't know. I'm a bigger guy. I like things a little bit bigger, I guess. So thanks for joining me for this unboxing, our largest unboxing we've ever done on this channel. It was a lot of fun to discover this Rancor with you guys. Be sure you're following us on Instagram. I'm always sharing polls and Star Wars deals and things like that on there. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. And if you like videos like this, subscribe and follow along. I'm almost at 600,000, almost at 600 subscribers. And that's huge to me. We just crossed 500 a couple weeks ago, I think. But you know, this channel is only a few months old, and you guys are just amazing and awesome. And I love talking to you all down in the comments. So, like I said, subscribe if you want to follow along, and let me know what you guys think of the Sideshow Rancor and the Gentle Giant Rancor while we're at it. What's your favorite monster? Let me know. See ya.